Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Josephine and on this channel we talk about fragrances. Today's video is part 2 to cult designer fragrances you need to have in your fragrance collection. This time, this video is for the gentlemen watching my channel, all about men's fragrances. So I have 10 cult classic fragrances which I think that every man should own. So if you'd like to know what these are, then please keep on watching. So when I think about cult fragrances, the brand that immediately comes to my mind is DIOR. And I actually have 2 DIOR fragrances to share with you today. And these are 2 DIOR perfumes that I would recommend you get if you only needed to get 2 perfumes from that house. So without further ado, let's begin with the first fragrance from DIOR. It is my beloved DIOR Homme, the original Eau de Toilette. Now I've had feedback on my channel that for those of you who live in the US, it's extremely difficult for you to get the original DIOR Homme. In the UK, you can still get it. You can get it on the DIOR website, but also on some other retailer websites. And this is where I got this bottle. So if you're living in the US, I mean, although I love the Eau de Toilette, the intense version also exists. And I think that it's very good as well. My personal favorite is the EDT because I think that it is more versatile and more easily wearable than the intense. But that being said, the intense is also a phenomenal scent. Now this perfume is the original DIOR Homme, which has this beautiful buttery and iris note, which makes this fragrance a true masterpiece. Now I smelled the 2020 version of this fragrance, the new Eau de Toilette that DIOR launched this year. And I mean, it really it can't compete with this perfume, honestly. Like, it's just not as good as the original because it doesn't have this iris note. So in addition to this really buttery and earthy iris, you have a gorgeous cacao, patchouli, and some lavender. So it's aromatic, it's sweet, and it's floral with the iris, but I don't find that this perfume is feminine. In fact, to me, this is an extremely masculine scent. So if you want a fragrance, I guess with the intense that's more readily available than the original DIOR Homme, this is a good perfume, the intense version that is, for the autumn and winter time, and I think is a classic in any man's fragrance collection. Now I said I had 2 fragrances from DIOR. So the second one is not Sauvage. It's not a cult perfume in my opinion, but anyways, that's just my opinion. It is the original Fahrenheit. Oh, this fragrance is an iconic perfume. It's so good. It smells still very relevant today. It doesn't feel dated at all. So Fahrenheit is one of the first, if not the first, leathery fragrance on the market. It has a really high concentration of violet, which gives it this leathery note, but it's super smooth. Like, it's not like a car seat leather. It's beautiful, but at the same time, very bold, very masculine, and very sexy. It's a very strong scent. This is a fragrance that is very intoxicating. It's not a perfume that will stay close to your skin. If you want to make a statement with your perfume, you just gotta grab Fahrenheit. And this is a scent that I would say works better in the colder months as well. In summertime, maybe it's a little bit too much, but all in all, it's a beautiful, classic masterpiece from DIOR. If you love your leathery perfumes, check out the original Fahrenheit. I will say that the new Fahrenheit, or it's not that new, but the latest version, which is more intense, a parfum, doesn't smell like the original at all. It's more boozy, and also a bit more sweet, which I find isn't so nice. So definitely go for the original Fahrenheit by DIOR. And another house that comes to my mind when it comes to iconic fragrances is of course Chanel. Whether it be Chanel No. 5 for the ladies or Coco Mademoiselle for men, there are a few powerhouses as well. And the one that I chose is not an old powerhouse, it's a more recent one. It is Bleu de Chanel. And you can see how well loved this perfume is because the labeling has slightly come off on this. I assure you, this is a legit fragrance. It's just been worn a lot and not treated with that much care. But anyways, Bleu de Chanel, why did I choose this perfume? Because it is very versatile. For those of you who've been watching my channel, you know how much I love Allure Homme, the original Allure Homme by Chanel. But Bleu de Chanel, I find, is maybe more easily worn. It's more all age inclusive as well than the Allure Homme. So, Bleu de Chanel, it's fresh, It's a blue type of scent. You have some woods. The woods actually are quite dry with cedar, and there's also a little bit of citruses to really add some freshness. This is essentially your trusty perfume that you can wear every day. You'll smell good, you'll smell professional, you'll smell elegant. This is a great fragrance to wear if you're going to the office during the day. You can also transition during the night. By the way, this is the eau de toilette version. This is the version that I personally prefer because I do like the added freshness in the scent, whereas the eau de parfum and parfum are of course a bit more intense. That being said, honestly, between the eau de toilette and eau de parfum, there's not that much of a difference. Perhaps the eau de parfum is better performing, so yeah, it's up to you to see which version you prefer, but this is a great versatile scent for everyday use for men and a classic in a fragrance collection. The fourth fragrance is none the other than Le Mâle by Jean-Paul Gaultier. Can you believe that this fragrance turned 25 this year? How crazy is that? It is still so good, and it's like one of the best-selling fragrances. It's amazing. Anyways, this is your clean barbershop type of fragrance with an oriental twist. So you have mint, you have lavender, so really traditional masculine ingredients with some vanilla to add a little bit of sweetness. And the sillage on this perfume is phenomenal. It smells really good. It's very alluring, and to me it just is very special. And I think that a lot of people have probably a very special connection with this scent if they've tried it or worn it in the past or even in the present. It's a type of perfume that just conjures lots of really great memories, at least for me. So this is a perfume that can be worn throughout the year. I've actually included this in my top 10 everyday fragrances for men. I will link the video down below, but essentially this is a really good versatile scent for all year round. So overall, this is a fresh, clean smelling perfume that is sexy and that is extremely alluring. So that was Le Mâle by Jean-Paul Gaultier. Next up, we have La Nuit de l'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. Now with this fragrance, there's been a lot of talk in terms of performance, different batches, etc, etc. I got this fragrance earlier this year and I think it's great. Whatever batch, I don't care. It smells really good and I think it also lasts a decent amount of time. So this is a very nice combination of cardamom, so spice, and vetiver, so this really sophisticated, noble, smoky and earthy woody notes that is beautiful. So this perfume is very sexy, but it's like a very casual type of sexy scent. It's also a really good everyday perfume. Can be worn all throughout the year, 4 seasons, very easy to wear. It's refined, it smells good, it will do the job. If you're looking for a fragrance that is more on the fresh, spicier side, for sure, YSL La Nuit de l'Homme is phenomenal. This is the eau de toilette and just a really great perfume. I don't think you can really go wrong with this scent. I usually say never blind buy perfumes, but when it comes to YSL La Nuit de l'Homme, I think it's a pretty safe blind buy. This is a fragrance that will get you so many compliments as well. Women love this scent. I mean, it's just phenomenal. So yes, this is for your spicy fragrance lovers out there with that elegant woody touch. So that was YSL La Nuit de l'Homme. And now we're venturing into more of a summery type of perfume. It is the iconic ACQUA di Gio, but not the original, the second flanker, I believe. It is ACQUA di Gio Profumo. So why would I recommend the Profumo over the original ACQUA di Gio? Although the original ACQUA di Gio smells very good, and personally I prefer the smell of the original version, it's just that it's really poorly performing. So it doesn't stay on your skin, it turns into a skin scent super quickly, which kind of defeats the point of the fragrance, which is such a shame because otherwise it's a phenomenal perfume and certainly it was a revolutionary scent back in the day when it first launched. So I recommend to you the ACQUA di Gio Profumo, which is a darker take on the original fragrance. It still retains this fresh marine-like DNA that is very much apparent in the original fragrance, so you'll find it again in ACQUA di Gio Profumo, but it's made more intense, it's more smoky and mysterious because it has patchouli and incense. so it's definitely darker. When I tried it on my skin, I got a sort of a resinous, pine-like feel. Not really sure where that comes from, but it definitely has more grit and power than the original perfume. And then as it dries down, you get a cleanliness from this scent. It almost develops like a soapy, powdery character, but still remains very powerful and impactful. This fragrance, I find, is more mature, so I would say it's appropriate for men in their late 20s and onwards, and just generally speaking is a gentleman's scent. This perfume is very put together, I find, and is extremely pleasing and mass appealing. Next up, we have an Hermes perfume. Of course, we have to have Hermes on this list as well. It is Terre d'Hermes, the original eau de toilette. This is a beautiful, beautiful vetiver scent. So we saw that YSL La Nuit de l'Homme includes vetiver, but also has cardamom. But if you want a true vetiver perfume, Terre d'Hermes is it. So Terre d'Hermes, not only does it have vetiver that is bright, it's luminous, but also a little bit smoky and nutty, that characteristic that you get from the vetiver, but it's also mixed with some citrus and orange, which is really lovely. It smells very elegant and sophisticated. It dries down quite powdery as well. It's very elegant, and this is another gentleman's scent. So between ACQUA di PROFUMO and Terre d'Hermes, if you want to smell like a gentleman, you get those two fragrances. This perfume, I would say, is maybe a little bit more challenging compared to the other ones that I've listed, just because vetiver can be a note that can be a bit more polarizing than, say, cedarwood or patchouli. Vetiver is just one of those that you kind of need to work with a little bit. But I will tell you that the way that it's done in this fragrance is just so beautiful, and this is one of the best designer fragrances with vetiver in there. Next up, we have a very easy to wear oud fragrance. It is Oud Wood by Tom Ford. It is a super easy to wear oud perfume. It's like oud for beginners. If you're scared to venture into oud, but you kind of want to test the waters with it, Oud Wood is the fragrance for you. And honestly, it is one of the most easily wearable fragrances for Tom Ford as well. So Tom Ford is very well known for making bold statement fragrances, but with Oud Wood, you're sort of like dipping your toes into the Tom Ford universe too. So really phenomenal fragrance. It smells amazing. You have oud, you have vetiver, you have sandalwood, so it's like a cocktail of woods and elegance and sophistication. It's beautiful. And then for the autumn and fall time, we have, of course, SPICEBOMB by VIKTOR and ROLF. This is the original eau de toilette SPICEBOMB. It is such an amazing perfume, and out of all of the flankers, there's been like SPICEBOMB Extrême, SPICEBOMB Night Vision, eau de toilette, eau de parfum. The original SPICEBOMB is the best one. The best one in terms of scent, not the best in terms of longevity. It doesn't have the longevity that it used to have, but in terms of scent, it is the most beautiful. So this is a spicy fragrance, as the name of the fragrance suggests. It's a bomb and an explosion of spices. You get a lot of the cardamom in there, as well as chili. And the chili in this scent is literally as if you were cutting chili and you have very spicy chili on your fingertips, and it sort of like burns on your fingertips. That is kind of the sensation that I get when I smell this scent. It's that spicy and warm and fiery. Yeah, SPICEBOMB is a fiery perfume, that's what I would say. It's so likable and very attractive as well. This is an extremely sexy perfume for the autumn and winter time for men. And yeah, if I had to recommend one perfume from the SPICEBOMB range, it is the original. The scent is phenomenal. And finally, we have a scent that was created in 1916. So a real OG. It is ACQUA di PARMA Colonia. This perfume is your classic cologne scent for men that is so good. It's honestly as good as it gets in terms of a cologne-like feel. You get the citruses, you get the aromatics, and it just develops a wonderful soapy character. It's like a luxurious bar soap. So imagine washing your hands with a luxurious lavender bar soap. That is what this fragrance is. It's not so much when you wash your hands and it bubbles up. It's more once you've washed your hands, dried them, and then you smell your hands. that is what I get from this scent. It's beautiful, it's masculine, it's classy as well. This is another gentleman's scent. I will do a video, by the way, on gentlemen's perfumes because I have a few in the list that are very elegant and sophisticated. It's certainly that. It's a great scent to just splash on if you've just clean shaven. It's really great for that, or you just come out of the shower and you want to prolong that cleanliness and you want to feel refined and just smell good to start your day. Acqua di Parma Colonia is phenomenal. So you can wear it throughout the year, but of course, because it's more on the light side and bright, it's very nice for the summertime. So this is it for today's cult fragrances for men. Let me know in the comments down below what cult perfume you own, whether you have any of the fragrances that I mentioned in today's video. I would like to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye!